After 2 wins in a row, Warriors are resurgent in the 2013 S-League season, and they come up against the high-flying Swans of Albirex Niigata.
Take a look at the table there. The Protectors took home a 3-0 victory against Woodlands Wellington, thanks to an opener by Lee Kwon Woo and a brace by Sonara Kamara.
Yeah, Tuesday, Albirex recorded another one of their 1-0 wins over Harimamura. That's their 5th win in that scoreline this season.
Poor finishing plagued the court's young Lions once again, and the Cheetahs punished them with a Mamadou Diallo goal that gave Hougang a 1-0 win and an upset at Sampaio as home team Balestier Khalsa shut out title chasers Tanjong Pagar, as you mentioned earlier, for a 2-1 win.
Yes, Tampines Rovers, they took 62 minutes before scoring a goal that saw them run out 1-0 winners in their clash with Geylang International.
So let's take a quick look at the league table now and see how all those results affected the table. Tampines keep themselves firmly on top of the table with a 5-point lead over Albirex.
Yes, so Tanjong Pagar beat Tampines on Sunday. That was the big game, of course. And then that fell to Balestier. They haven't got the consistency. They stay in 3rd.
Home United in 4th and the Rams in 5th, while Balestier have pushed their way to 6th with that win over Tanjong Pagar.
Let's have a look at the bottom half of the table. Brunei DPMM, they find themselves in 7th. Warriors, Hougang, Harimau and Geylang all on 14 points. Nice and tight down there.
Both Brunei and DPMM and Warriors as well in with that chance to move to the top half after the matches that they played tonight. And Court's young Lions are still languishing at the bottom of that table. It's looking pretty desperate for them right now.
So the players slowly about to make their way out. Kick off in just a short while. There was...
Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure to hear your thoughts, and particularly ahead of such a big game, which this one is. Something we'll have to give here, as mentioned in the warm-up to this game. Both sides going into this one on a 2-game running streak, and with Albirex Niigata currently sitting in 2nd place, they will look to close the gap on the top team, Tampines Rovers, who won earlier this week by that solitary goal to 0. When you consider the Warriors find themselves in an unusual position, the bottom half of the table, currently in 8th, a victory here will jump them up 3 places and into 5th position above Woodlands Wellington and put them well back in amongst the pack. While the two sides make their way out to the field of play, and as mentioned, Sasi Kumar, the former international goal-scoring legend, shall we call him, is joining us here in the commentary position. I remember all those years back, Sasi, the first time that Singapore won the AFF Cup. What are we expecting tonight?
Well, we got 2 teams playing for different objectives. Of course, Albirex, like you said, trying to close the gap on Tampines Rovers. Whereas the Warriors have got a different agenda here today. They need to pick up points, slowly creep up the ladder. Hasn't been the best start for them in this year's S-League competition, but you know, in recent times they've picked up some points.
Both sides will be looking to impose themselves on this one. We both know, though, that the Warriors go into this match with one change. Abdul Karim is out suspended. Iwan Gunawan will come in and play on the right-hand side of midfield. Rosaini will go back to right back. Still no Toda. He is out injured. So is Inui. So those 2 players will not feature at all as we see the starting lineup for the Warriors. There is the formation, Sas, a 4-5-1 with Shukur just sitting in there. Miroslav, obviously the main go-to man, and the 2 wide men, Irwan and Prakash, looking to deliver the goods.
Yeah, they got plenty of width there, playing with 5 in midfield. They should keep possession of the ball. As we know, Albirex like to keep the ball and pass it around, especially at the back. So the Warriors have to push forward, push very high up, and really make sure that they don't allow Albirex to play the usual style, which is just pass the ball left to right.
Well, Albirex Niigata, as you've mentioned, do like to pass that ball around, but Koichi Sugiyama, the head coach, says if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Can you believe numbers 1 to 11 all starting 2 games in a row? None of this number 15, 16, 33, 84. We've got 1 to 11, and it is going to be pretty much a 4-4-2. And again, all eyes will be on Sakamoto, the man who is up front, the number 11, Kazuki Sakamoto. 5 goals so far, Sas. But as you've already mentioned, they do like to pass the ball around, keep possession and try and draw out opponents.
Well, very old school, isn't it? 1 to 11, but nevertheless been doing the job for them in the last 2 games. So coach there just making sure he sticks with the winning formula, doesn't want to change anything. That's the man there.
There he is, Mr. Sugiyama. Has come out and said that they are still gung-ho and really want to win this league title. And when you consider where they've come from and how they have done so far throughout the history, they got their best ever finish last year where they did finish in 3rd position. And it's a real credit when you consider that they did join the league back in 2004. So next year will be their decade of being in Singapore and playing in the S League. There is, on the other hand, the Silveraju has found himself under immense pressure, particularly at the start of the season, for league form domestically and also internationally in the AFC Cup, where they were knocked out of the AFC Cup just a week or two ago. Not good news for Warriors fans who have rebranded themselves this year, Tassi. Not so much the branding, but the type of football is slightly different under Silverage as it was with Richard Bond.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, any rookie coach coming into the position will feel the heat, especially when the results are not going with you. Of course, we like to see local coaches get the opportunity to coach professional teams, but obviously results got to speak for itself.
Well, you mentioned there about coming into a successful side, which of course the Warriors were after winning the HB Cup last season. Someone like a David Moyes following a Sir Alex Ferguson, I suppose, with the Silverage coming in and following Richard Bach.
Oh, no comments on that one, but but yeah, I mean, you can see the succession plan with the Warriors.
The ball whipped in, easily dealt with though in the end by Shinpei. It's the Japanese side that look to try and keep possession. Nagasaki just lays it off, dinked in by Nagasawa to the far post. Easily dealt with those, Zulfadli heading it down. Shinpei again just getting on the ball and looking to keep possession now. Zulfadli trying to gain some ground and tries a big booming cross ball looking for Karoglan. Flag's gone up though. A little bit of an infringement there. Not too much in that though, Sassi, to be honest.
Well, he was backing up against the player, so probably that's the reason why the linesman picked that one up. But just looking at the way, you know, the Albrecht's a young team, they must be really looking forward to playing against their national hero, Toda. Of course, they might remember him or, of course, heard of him. World Cup hero for Japan. Unfortunately, won't play any part, at least for now.
Easily back to Okihara, one of the two 35-year-olds that Albrecht Niigata have in their side. Of course, the Warriors have a 35-year-old in their own right with Mr. Dan Bennett at the back. Now the all-time leading international with the number of caps that he has for the national team with 124. Quite a remarkable achievement, really, when you think that he's grown up and spent literally 95% of his life here in Singapore. It's an unbelievable achievement, isn't it, Sassi?
Well, you know, I was just thinking about that. Dan was playing when I was playing. I'm retired for almost 10 years now, and Dan is still playing. But likes to take care of himself, Dan Bennett. That's the reason why he's still doing the business on the park for the Warriors.
Of course, you can have longevity. You only have to look at the likes of Alexander Djuric, who is 42 years young, still playing his trade here. Ball just launched out into nowhere there from Marin Inesovic. There's the man who's under the pressure at the moment. Silverage decides to take a seat. Very difficult to tell how much pressure can be heaped on, but with your Warriors and with your home United, the expectations are there as well, aren't they, Sassi? So there is more pressure at the uniform clubs.
Of course, I mean, when you look at the stuff they've achieved in the S League, you know, Warriors, well, I started my career with the SAFFC in the S League. And ever since then, the foreign players who have played in the team, the national players who have played there, and you know, all the titles the Warriors have won in the past, all obviously makes it a bit more harder for any coach to come in. And let's not kid ourselves, Richard Bach had a wonderful run with them as well. Won quite a few titles with them, so you know, any coach coming into that position will feel the heat.
8 league titles just to back up those credentials as that long ball's played forwards, easily dealt with though by Fukuda. And again, Albrechts, as we've seen on quite a numerous Friday evenings when they have been playing down here at the Jalan-Besar Stadium, will look to just stroke it around again. That's exactly what they do into the middle of the park. Ota, who's in his 3rd season here in Singapore with Albrechts Niigata. possession kept. Nagasawa helps it forwards. Again, looking to show and do the right thing. Sakamoto getting involved, as is Ishikawa. So again, this methodical approach that they do have. Sassi coming to the fore yet again.
Well, you can see that they're being patient, playing the ball around, and not really forcing their way through. But this is where I think Warriors have to be a little bit more proactive. Really push and squeeze and make sure that they don't have enough space and time on the ball.
They are in time to condense that middle third, but that's a great ball switched over to the far side and drilled early. Not a million miles away. Well, everybody stood off and backed away there. Time and space was granted. And I tell you what, Sass, that was some strike.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the way they just played the ball out there. And
Nagasaki it was.
Yeah, Nagasaki played the ball wide and almost catching a Hassan Sani.
And the Warriors trying to play a high line and almost getting caught there. Now under a little bit of pressure. Ball clipped into space, just looking for the run. Shijai it was who was trying to help it in behind. Yuki Ishikawa, who gets there and mops things and tidies things up, is Bruno. Bruno with a little layoff back into Ishikawa. Again, no urgency, no rush going forwards. Little nudge in the back there from Nimpe Sakurada. He actually had a season with Albrecht Niigata in 2011 and now currently in his second season at the Warriors. And again, you can see the static nature, although there is a player who has gone down with what looked like a little bit of a calf issue. Yamada, yeah, he just seems to have stretched it out now. Otto's dropping very, very deep. Here he is on the ball in the centre circle. You can see how congested it is here. Nicely, he just flips forwards. Suzuki plays a little ball forwards, looks for the return, can't get in behind there. Sakamoto just trying to thread that ball through to him. And the other veteran of this side, we mentioned the goalkeeper, Hara, is Shingo Suzuki. Played over 440 top-flight games over in the J-League 1 and J-League 2. Almost like their marquee player, as it were, Sassi.
Yeah, they need a bit of experience in this, otherwise very young squad, Albrecht Niigata. Usually they always come with younger players, and it's actually done well for them. Quite a few of the players now playing overseas, playing in clubs in the S League. So from a developmental point of view, objectives working out for Albrecht Niigata. Of course, yet to still win the S League Championship.
Things could happen, you never know. They're in a good position, it has to be said at the moment, with the way that they are positioned in the league. As Bruno out wide, looks to hold it up. Under close scrutiny though, Zulfadli putting a lot of pressure on there, but well mopped up by Shijai. Zulfadli again straight up the line, and the bounce almost catching out for Kuda, but he managed to get that and keep it in play.
Well, you can see that the Albrecht players technically quite good. When they get the ball, they don't panic. All of those players are quite comfortable on the ball, which makes a big, big difference at this level, Paul.
It really does, but I think, as you said, just needs the Warriors, or if you play against them, if you get in amongst them and squeeze them and push them and don't allow them this time and space, that's when you find out how good football players they are, if they can keep the ball when they're under pressure.
Well, the problem for the Warriors, especially in the middle of the park, Shinpei Sakurada, Shuko Zailan and Shijai have to work it out. Who's going to pick up which man and who's going to press. And at the moment, Miroslav Koroglan seems to be isolated up front. She's running from left to right. You can't really afford your top striker to be doing that early on in the game. He's going to run out of energy. There's got to be a concerted effort by the Warriors if they're going to try and win the ball back.
Here again, though, they are just slowing play down. Bruno right on the halfway line, just turns, cuts inside, has a little bit of time and space. Feeds it through to Nagasaki. Gets closed down very quickly, though, by Iwan. Ball switched. They unable to bring that down. Looked as though it was just going to fall for him, but didn't. And again, very, very tight area where Albrechts are trying to play. Karaglan tries to create a yard for himself, gets blocked out by two opponents, though. Nicely and easily mopped up by Shukor. The ball drilled in. Not the best ball in the world from Zulfadli. 25-year-old there, possibly choosing the wrong option.
Very poor by Zulfadli. Had all the time in the world to pick out a blue shirt. Unfortunately, didn't do that, and was obviously upset coach Bisalvaraj. Again, just looking at the play there, Paul Karaglan was looking for options to do a 1-2, but nobody really came to support him there. He just ran out of space and had to play the ball wide. That's been the problem for the Warriors, if you ask me, the whole season. They haven't got enough match winners in the team.
Of course, it doesn't help that Inui is missing the wide player, and also their marquee player Toda is out, so two big players missing for them.
Well, we look at the past roster for Warriors. You've got Persak Chaiman, Alex Duric. All of them are all match winners.
Yeah, they've always had one, haven't they?
Mirko Grobovac. You know,
that was for many years as well. Yeah.
Yuri Arish in the early days, Belamis William. So
careful, you'll start to show my age as well as yours. Of course, it's 0-0 here at the Jalan Besar Stadium. Our S League, and we are Friday night football. Warriors 0, Albrechts Niigata 0. Great Eastern Unions S League 2013 in full swing so far this season. Long ball, again that diagonal switch looking for Iwan Gunawan, but unfortunately couldn't get there. Little nudge in the back, but it's going to be a throw-in for Rozaini. The Warriors will look to keep possession straight down the line. Iwan with the layoff. Again, not the best ball in the world. That's going to be easy pickings for Hideoki Hara. The man that was the goalkeeper coach last year has stepped up to be the #1 this year, Sass. It's quite an amazing story, really, isn't it?
It is. It's a strange one, Paul, if you ask me, but obviously they've seen something in him.
He's obviously seen that the youngsters that are coming out aren't good enough, so he thought, well, why should I train him? I'll just go and goal myself.
Don't know if that's really a good thing or not for the league, but
well, it's working for them this year, Sass, if you have a look at their results.
Well, I suppose you can take a chance with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, because they can go forever, really, can't they, goalkeepers?
Because look at all the great goalkeepers they played for a long, long time. And in Singapore, David Lee, my teammate, played for a long time as well.
Clean sheets so far this season for Hideoki Hara. Hasn't done too bad when you consider that they've played 11 games, so that's almost a 50% ratio, so he will be happy with that, the veteran goalkeeper. Ball played forwards, the little flick, and it's a nice one into Sakamoto. Sakamoto with a layoff, time and space here for Suzuki. Decides to come back out, try and keep possession. Easily mopped up though by Shidai. Zaini finds Dan Bennett. He just helps on up the line. Karaglan with a little layoff. And again, the white shirt's picking up that second ball, and that's critical when you play against a side that like to do this. You can't give them the ball back too quickly, can you, Sass?
Well, you just look at the play there. Karaglan held the ball up nicely. He was looking for some support. Shijai, meters away from him, could have made a better angle to receive the ball. Unfortunately, Shijai just stand there, and this is the criticism of Shijai. He doesn't have enough work rate when he plays for the club or with the national team. I've always suspected his work rate.
Play switch to this near side. Yamada is pushed on a little bit. Just comes back inside. Again, Albrechts nice and easy to keep possession, all interchanging positions. Karaglan turns. Trying to go alone there, but was closed down very quickly by Otero, who won that ball back. And now that could send Albrechts forwards very quickly. But yet again, they elect to take the foot off the gas and slow the game down, Sass. This could be a very, very long 90 minutes for us.
You're right. When they had the opportunity to go forward, instead of releasing the ball up front with two touch, all of a sudden the ball played backwards. And you know what? It will suit the Warriors because they can regroup, and especially having 5 midfielders, they're going to win the ball back quite easily. So unless Albrechts try and change the style of play, I don't see how they're going to score goals.
Ball hoisted forwards. Karaglan not even bothering to chase that one down. Yamada with a little bit of time and space. Had a little look inside. Ota rolls it back, looks to keep possession, and played all the way back from Ishikawa. And Hala looks to go out down the right-hand side. Ota wants a few people to show for him. A little step over there from Kingo Suzuki. Had Yamada on his heels there. Didn't really gamble or anticipate that that was coming.
All of a sudden, the pace of play has just died down a little, Paul.
Well, we didn't think it could get any slower, did we, Sass? But the walking pace and pedestrian pace has come back. But again, there is a technique here, and it's almost like a chess game that Albrechts play. They just pass it around, they try and suck those midfielders and the defenders in, and that's where you get your time and space here, which is exactly what they've got. That's a great ball switched out into Bruno from Sakamoto. So Bruno with a little bit of time and space to work in. He likes to come back. Ichikawa on the overlap. Spreads it forward. Sakamoto. They play it back out wide, but unfortunately just overcooked it slightly. So that's going to be a throw-in for the Warriors. He's happy with the way that his side performs. He's actually said that, Sugiyama, the coach. Very much protective of the ball. Again, Warriors very slow in pushing up there and then applying pressure towards the ball, and that's why you could see there quite clearly Karaglan looking a forlorn figure up front and very frustrated there, Sassi. You could see his reaction.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for anyone playing up front, just chasing the ball, and every time he gets the ball, there's no support. I think the Warriors are better off playing with a 4-4-2 formation and pushing forward. Well, playing with a 5 in midfield and 1 up front is just trying to neutralize and win possession in midfield. Well, unfortunately, the Warriors midfielders are not fast enough to join the attack, leaving Karaglan by himself up front. Not working out for the Warriors, unfortunately.
Not at the moment, but of course there's still a very, very long way to go in this game. Just under 30 minutes of this half, plus the whole of the second half, so still plenty could change. But you do have to say, Albrechts are keeping the ball, but that's a little bit better. Vidosevic wins the ball and then fires it forwards aimlessly. And again, that's the frustrating part that Karaglan's going to deal with today.
Well, you could see the idea there, but Karaglan, not the paciest of strikers in the league. Much better to play the ball at his feet. Got good technique, and if the midfielders can link up with him, and he can create some damage. Unfortunately, if you're going to put the ball in space and get him to run, he's not the player.
This is good movement though from Albrechts. Nice ball threaded forwards there. Nagasawa almost making it count, losing out on the second occasion as well. Here's Prakash, that's literally his first touch of the game, and we're almost 20 minutes in. Nice ball clip forwards, almost coming off there. Shukor it was, who had the vision to try and clip that over the top for Karaglan, but now he's caught out of position because he's pushed forwards, and time and space here for Nagasawa. Nagasawa shoots from range, blocked down though by Vidosevic, and again, it's starting to open up a little bit here. Shijayi trying to poke it forward, Shimpe involved as well, but not there, and it's just frustrating at the moment for both sides, isn't it, Sass?
It is, especially for the Warriors, because every time they lose the ball, they have 5 players out of position, leaving the defenders with no cover in front of them. Must be a nightmare for Dan Bennett and Marin Vidosevic, especially when they don't have a cover in front of them and midfielders are running with the ball. You don't know what to do, either to stay or attack the ball. That's something He's Albrecht has to address.
I think it was
very
something
quickly.
that you said as well, though, Sass. It's the three midfield players, because the coach can only do so much, but when you're out there as well, it's down to the three midfield players to sort it out themselves, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Paul. Just let's have a look. Where's Chijai? I mean, he's just walking in the middle of the park, picking no one, marking space. That leaves the other two to work really, really hard. So you got to look at that. You really got to look at that.
Ishikawa with time and space rolls that one forwards, almost gives it away, but there always seems to be a second option for this Albrecht side. Fukuda thought about the big booming switch, but then just elected to keep possession. They are very comfortable on the ball, that is for sure. Sakamoto with a layoff, and again, everybody getting involved. Ishikawa, Bruno with a little layback as well. Ota always likes to drop very deep and get the ball off the back foot to look to play as well.
Well, if you got your defense pushed so high up, you got to have some pressure on the ball. Otherwise, a long diagonal ball is going to catch the defense out. Very flat at the moment.
Nagasaki on the burst, gets past one, pulls the trigger, comes off the back of Dan Bennett there. No problems for him defending, and just launched clear by Rosani. Karaglan having to put the yards in again, losing out. The second ball picked up by an Albrecht player and flicked forwards. That's going to be a handball.
Well, I like to see how long Karaglan is going to do this up front on his own.
I know exactly. You see, that's football talk, Sass. For you can't do that for 90 minutes. Just run tirelessly and work tirelessly like he's doing, when he's the man with the ability and skill to be able to hold it up.
Well, if the Warriors are going to score a goal, you put all your money on Karaglan to score, right? I mean, you need to really preserve him and make sure that he's sharp in the box.
Leading goal scorer will be 5 for the Warriors so far this season, so it makes perfect sense what you're saying, Sass. As Dan Bennett just manages to shepherd that one out.
Well, when you look at the Warriors lineup, they've got a decent defense. You've got Hassan Sani in goal, very experienced goalkeeper. Daniel Bennett, who's been playing there forever. Good foreign defender in Marin Vidosevic, big, tall centre-back with the ability to pass the ball out as well. The full-back, they're not bad. But it's in midfield that they're seriously lacking up front.
There's Karaglan fighting, and exactly what we're talking about. Prakash comes inside back to Karaglan, who just holds off the challenge. Here's Sukur. A little bit of time and space for him. Little flick forwards for Karaglan, who tries to bring it down, and the little hook back there, and it's just as well, really, because that nearly opened up into a half chance for them.
Yeah, but you got a feel for him. You can see that he was struggling to control the ball. All he could do was just hit the ball. Shuko, you can see the intention there, was just to clip it over the defender. But Karaglan back paddling, only could manage just to keep the ball up as he tried to spin the defender.
Well, the former Bosnia-Herzegovina under-21 international, just showing there that he does have the upper body strength to hold the challenges off as well, Sass. As it's Albrechts that come forwards again at the other end. Here's Bruno. He has 2 or 3 white shirts ahead of him, into the feet of Sakamoto, laid off back into Ichikawa. Ichikawa looks up, so there's nothing on. Again, this little tic-tac football that they like to play. Suzuki comes inside. Nothing on there, so just elects to keep possession. Nota back in to the feet there of Nagasaki. Free kick. Nagasawa just upended there. That was when Vidosevic came through a little bit too physically there.
Well, to be fair, he shouldn't even be there, Paul. If you ask me, it's the midfielders, it's the midfield zone where they should be the ones that's closing and leave Vidosevic up front. I mean, sorry, at the back, compact with Dan Bennett. And unfortunately, they got to give away free kicks. Not really a dangerous area, but still giving away a free kick.
Well, you never know, any kind of little nick, deflection or graze from this sort of distance, anything could happen. Or is he just going to hang one up? On the back line seems to be sorted. They're trying to hold the edge of the box.
The Warriors certainly got the height over Albrecht. He got that.
Oh, it's drilled in, and oh my goodness! That is the best free kick we have seen so far this season. What an absolute stunning strike from all of 40 yards. It's the veteran Shingo Suzuki getting his second of the season, and I cannot believe what we've just witnessed there. How hard has he smashed that ball? Because it absolutely flew into the top corner, giving Hassan Sunny absolutely no chance. What a goal for Albrechts.
Did I just say it was not a dangerous area? I mean, have a look at that shot. It looked as though it did take a bit of a defection of someone, but that is top draw shot, if you ask me. Wonderful, wonderful free kick there, but Hassan Sani seemed to got something on it, but unfortunately couldn't just parry it away. Take a bow, man, because that was a wonderful, wonderful free kick.
Well, even there you can see what the coach thinks. Sugiyama jumping to his feet and can't believe that it's gone in from there. What a goal. That has to go down as, I would say, the best free kick I've seen so far this season by any shadow of doubts. He must have been 40, 45 yards out, and the ball moved away, and it looked as though the ball was travelling, and not true, but was always moving away from the goalkeeper, making it very, very difficult for Hassan Sunny. But what a good goal that is for Albrechts Niigata.
Love to see it from a different angle, really, because you could see the swerve on the ball. That could have possibly caught out Hassan Sani.
Tell you what, there should have been a free kick there. Vidosevic just took him back on the shirt, and the Warriors need to be careful here. They've conceded one, they don't want to concede another one straight afterwards.
What you really don't want is that familiar feeling of going one goal down and losing the game. Can be hard for the Warriors players because they've been struggling all season.
Frustration starting to boil over here. Anyone going to want the first player to go into the referee's book?
Here we have a look at it again. Just nudging Yamada out of the way. Anyone going to want? Don't think so. There was malice in that one, but just perhaps a little bit late with this challenge. The heavy fall there, Yamada. Fortunately, seems to be all right. The confirmation of yellow card for Erwan Gunawan. Yuki Yamada. Will be all right.
He will be fine and be jumping back to his feet in no time. Here's Yamada, just flipping that ball forwards, a little bit of time and space, and the intensity level now has just picked up a notch as Suko just tucks one into the channels. Caraglan again having a chase down, and thankless, tireless job for him. Cool as you like, Harder just clips one out. The little layoff from Yamada, and again, certain passing style from Albrechts Niigata coming to the fore, but that's when they struggle, when they bump it forwards like that. But they are picking up the second balls here, which is the most important thing. And time and space here for Sakamoto. Here's the goal scorer. Suzuki playing the ball forwards as opposed to playing it wide, and given away by Sakamoto. So a chance for Shuko to come forwards. Keeps it simple. Zulfadli looks to go forwards. Body's ahead of him. That's going to be an Albrechts ball, no question about that. And it's just not happening for the Warriors again, is it here, Sas?
No, I believe that link-up play between the midfielders and the striker, I wouldn't say strikers, it's really missing there, because when they get the ball, they haven't got an option to play the ball up front. It's just Karoglan who's marked by marked man on man whenever the opportunity presents itself. So they're really running out of options to play the ball up front and immediately give the ball back away to Albrechts Niigata. So that's been a problem that I think Visvaroch has to address quite quickly.
Almost at the half-hour mark here, the Jalan Stadium, the Great Eastern Yellows S League 2013. Albrechts Niigata leading the Warriors by 1-0. Friday night football, and what a goal it was. Caraglan getting upended, play allowed to continue. when you felt that may have been a free kick. Simply getting involved as well, twisting and turning, goes past one, raises the arm as Bruno comes to challenge him. Carries his run further forwards though. Prakash drills one into the box, and it's always going into the keeper, a right footer from that sort of angle. Very difficult to pick your man out from there, Sass.
Yeah, just one blue shirt in the box, and you can see it's already huffing and puffing and shaking his head because he can't be everywhere at the same time. Need a few more bodies up front. Fortunately, the way they're lined up, not going to happen.
Absolutely spot on, Sass. You can see that from the shape of the team. There's the big diagonal from Yamada all the way out to Bruno. Flicks it forwards, almost nonchalantly into the path of Nagasaki. Clips one in, dangerous, free header, flag's gone up. It's not going to count. It's just gone wide, though. That was a golden opportunity for Sakamoto.
That was a great opportunity for Sakamoto. Just needed to be a bit more patient with this run into the box there. Nevertheless, what a wonderful cross. Was
it offside though, Sass? That's the question, because as that's played in, he's playing right on the shoulder, you know.
Well, it's hard to tell from where we are, Paul, because from where we are, certainly, it looked as though...
Has that gone in and through the net? I think that's gone in and through the net.
That's what I was thinking, because it certainly looked as though it went into the goal and just made his way out there at the back, so...
There's a hole in the net, because you cannot physically head the ball from inside the post and it go through around the back of the goal like that. So there's a hole in the net. So if anybody's listening, can you let the groundsman know? I'm sure that will be addressed right at half-time. One of those funny things in football, but at least it didn't affect the game. That's the most important thing.
Well, imagine if the goal was actually allowed. Players can go and protest.
Free kick drill forwards from Shijai. Again, the second one drill forward is going to be another corner.
Because Island there, just trying his luck from distance.
Going to be a corner. Chijai who's going to deliver this, delivers it across the face of the 6-yard box. The ball bounces and bobbles around and not sure, so they just hack it clear. Just touching on that ball. Did it go in? Didn't it go in? So I was here just a few weeks ago watching Haugang, where Leon Schotten, who drilled one in from about 40 yards, the ball quite clearly crossed the line because there was a water bottle behind the line. It exploded. That's how far the ball was over the line. It came back out and the goal wasn't given. So it seems to be a problem with this left-hand side from our commentary position with this goal.
But don't worry about that, Paul, because the goal line technology is going to be implemented pretty soon. So but we won't be talking about that one in the near future.
Ball whipped in. It's a great ball whipped into the far post and a free header. Straight to the hands of Hara, so no problems for him. Let's just reiterate, of course, that it was an offside.
Yeah, it was an offside.
Yeah. It was given. So, but it's just, I suppose, us having a little bit of fun with the goal down at the left-hand side at the Jalan Stadium from the commentary position.
Absolutely.
DJE trying to thread that ball forwards, losing out against Shukor, just keeps possession, cushions it into the path of Prakash. Prakash cuts inside, has Zulfadli on the overlap, and that's a poor, woeful ball. It really was a nothing ball. He's given him absolutely nothing, and it's very, very difficult then for your fullback who makes that overlapping run to at least get some quality into the box.
Well, I would have gone mad if I was the fullback Zulfadli going forward, because it was Prakash who had all the time in the world to just thread the ball through. Is probably the easiest thing to do. Unfortunately, gave his fullback a hospital ball. He could have progressed nicely and put the ball into the box, allowing the likes of Karoglan and Gunawan to just attack it. Really got to pay attention to little details like that if they're going to climb out of the bottom half of the table. Of
course, the new format this year as well, as they play a little bit riskily from the back there, the Warriors, so they will want to be in the top 6 when it comes to the halfway stage of the season, because the league will be split into 2 halves, almost like a 2.5 round of fixtures this year. Try to increase the excitement and the tension towards the end of the season. Shuko drills one in, stings the palms of Hideo Kahara, but just a little bit too square on there, but not a bad effort from Shuko.
Great technique and a bit of power behind that. Unfortunately, straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. Hideo Kahara, good 40 meters out there, good technique. Just catches it well. Unfortunately, not enough swerve to beat the keeper, unlike the goal we saw earlier on.
No nonsense defending there from Ichikawa, just clears his lines. Vidosevic, he puts one in, and again, not the quality that should be there, and you've got your big target man there, and you can see him pointing at himself, saying, was that supposed to be for me? It's frustrating for him at the moment.
Well, they don't have a target man, and doing that will just play into the hands of Albrecht Niigata. They need to vary the play a little bit, add a different dimension to the attack.
That's good play. Everything right about that, apart from the final finish. Hijayi, much better from Warriors, it has to be said.
Exactly. I mean, that's the kind of play that is going to get them the goal. Ball goes out to the striker, lays it back, the midfielder comes forward and takes the shot.
And that's what you were talking about earlier, wasn't it, Sass, about Karaglan being left isolated all on his own with not enough bodies getting in there to support him quickly enough.
Spot on, Paul, because...
no, it was your point. You said it earlier.
Yeah, well, you know, that was the point I was trying to make, and you picked up on that one.
Well, that's just an example of what we're talking about here in the commentary position, and it almost came to fruition for the Warriors. On this occasion, that pass didn't from Rosani going forwards. And a very interesting league so far this year. It has to be said. Tampines Rovers, of course, with the players that they've signed and how they've done. They've only lost that solitary game, sitting on top of the table on 28 points. 3 points here for Albrecht Niigata would put them just 2 points behind. So it is really a must-win game for them if they want to stay in contention on the coattails of Tampines Rovers. Time and space. Rosani with a ball in. Easily defended, though, by Fukuda. Suzuki tries to help it forwards. And again, there's a bit more intensity and there's a bit more about this Warriors side the last 5 minutes. It's a little bit more intense. Great ball whipped in. Karaglan tries to attack it. And ball they want. The Warriors not given, but a long ball hoisted forwards. And a little bit of a struggle there. Vidosevic just having to sort his feet out quickly right at the last moment. Hassan Sunny again. Oh, my goodness. Almost getting caught out. And again now, Vidosevic having to come to the rescue. The flag's gone up for some reason.
Hassan's got to be careful. He's thinking one chance too many there. Really need to be old-fashioned, and when he's not sure, need to put the ball up front here. Just try to be a little bit cute with his pass out. We all know he's much better than that. I actually quite like him and rate him.
Again, a poor forwards from Ivan Gunawan. It just seems as though they're trying to do the simple things, but they're trying to complicate it while they're doing it. Shuko trying to encourage everybody on the pitch, just giving him a round of applause, saying, come on, we can do better than that. It's exactly what you want from someone who sits in the middle of the park. It is again. Ivan Gunawan clips that one forwards. It's a great ball into Shijai. It just skips away from him, though. Didn't really anticipate that ball.
Well, you should have attacked it because there was a good opportunity to take the ball into the box and towards goal, but just waited for the ball to just drop nicely for him, which is never going to happen.
Bruno was in there if that ball had the right pace on it. As it is, Albrecht's right on the halfway line. 5 white shirts in the opponent's half, and well, just when it looked as though they could have turned the screw and really put a bit of pressure on the Warriors, they've just elected to keep possession, but now it's opened up on that far side. It seems as though the defence has gone walkabout. This is good play apart from that final touch. A chance now for the Warriors to try and make something happen.
I tell you what, Paul, if Albirex has a bit of pace going forward and the counter-attack, they're going to open up a lot of the plays, especially with this game against the Warriors, because they're technically very, very good.
Great ball played through, just the touch from Sakamoto, letting him down. Yeah, you're right, they just need that little bit of guile in the final third. That's what's letting them down. You're spot on again, Sass. The opportunities are presenting themselves to kind of open this defence, and you feel that Pete Silverage is not going to be a happy man at half-time. Yamada looks to keep possession. Easy back to Nagasaki. Time and space for Otta. And look at that. He can stand on the ball and just jump up and down around it. No one closing him down. Suzuki with time and space. And now look, he's electing to come back as well. The pressure just not there from the Warriors at the moment.
Well, if you look at, again, I have to go back to 3 in the middle. Have you got a midfield enforcer there? Someone who puts his leg through, making sure that they don't have time on the ball. Unfortunately, they haven't got anyone there. 3 of the players there, they like to play the ball, but what they really need is someone who gets in there, stuck in and win the ball and try and break up attack.
It's almost like a practice match at the moment for Albirex Niigata. They're just stroking it around amongst themselves and keeping possession. Okay, it's not on going forwards. When it is, and it is for Nagasaki. But again, you don't mind that because they've kept the ball, no one in their face, like you're saying, Sass. They're coming back out, they're passing it around, they're trying to drag and draw people out, and it's working for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big draw for them, isn't it? Especially in midfield, they can keep possession of the ball, pass around, have the time to look out and pick up those passes. You look at that's the big difference with Tampines. You got Mustafik Farudin in the middle of the park who just likes to put himself about. And that makes it very hard for the opposing midfielders to pass the ball, even have time on the ball. Unfortunately, well, you can see Karoglan, he's absolutely disgusted with the way the midfield.
So free kick awarded, so there may be something late on in the half here for the Warriors. Taken quickly. Hussaini plays it out wide, a little bit of time and space for Iwan Gunawat. Chijai getting involved. And again, Warriors a little bit static going forwards, which is why it can be cut out again. Shuko having to try and mop and tidy things up there, and Albirex can break forwards yet again. Here's Bruno, a little bit of time and space. First half for you, Sass, how would you summarise it?
Well, I thought Albirex Niigata, the possession was really good. Technique really immaculate there, and that's the reason why they kept possession of the ball. Created that opportunity, especially, the free kick. And what can I say about the free kick? One of the best I've seen so far in the AS League.
So again, Albirex looking to slow things down, keep possession. Ball out wide into the path of Bruno. The overlap's coming with Ichikawa. Long range shot, drilled forwards, and again that ball moved. Well, they're not afraid to pull the trigger. On that occasion, Nagasawa from, 25 yards out. And look how that ball dipped right at the end. Almost catching Hassan Sunny out. Just a couple of minutes to go to half-time. I don't think we've had a trainer on, so it's been a fairly contested first half, it has to be said. Little nudge in the back there, so Bruno conceding the free kick. Zulfadli it was who picks himself up from the floor. And Vidosevic will be the man who drills this forwards. Almost clips it into Shijai, the little flick on, and again, Karaglan going in behind, but to no avail. Time and space here for the goal scorer, Suzuki. It is again, the 35-year-old just looking to keep possession. Comes all the way to the near side, Yamada. Flips that ball forwards, and again, good movement and good passing. Nagasaki, time and space from Nagasaki. Just the passing was a little bit too far behind Sakamoto there, so the Warriors look to come forward. Suzuki gets kicked, and then Vidosevic kicks 2 people. Someone almost shoves one and then kicks the other, and just been told in no uncertain terms by Mohamed Yazin Buhari, the referee, that that's enough. Here's the first one, shove. The next one, kick. Here we go, there. And look at the two players. Isn't that priceless? They both look at the referee and then both look at the coach. Sugiyama felt that that one was a free kick as we almost come to the end of the first 45 minutes. Not sure if there's going to be any time added on at all here. It has been an open, entertaining, flowing game of football. The fourth official playing in front of us. Looks as though he is getting ready with the board. And with the game the way that it has been, one wonders how that there will be 1 minute of time added on. Look at the acres of space here for Yamada. Nice ball threaded inside, a little turn there from Sakamoto, out wide to the overlap of Ichikawa. Time and space for Bruno inside, clips it up the line. Sakamoto again making the run in behind. Well, that he's just going to try and hold proceedings up until the support play comes, and it does in the shape of Nagasawa. That's a free kick in a very dangerous position, and this close to half-time you feel that this will be the last strike on goal. Takeshi Nagasawa gets caught here. Oh, was the ball played first? But it's the challenge from behind now, which of course is illegal. Sugiyama knows that his man can strike from here, and it does look as though it's going to be Shingo Suzuki again. He's doubled his tally for the season in today's game. Can he treble it? This, well, a lot closer than the last one was. As you can see, the edge of the D is 22 yards away from the goal. But it's about 26, 27 yards away. You feel with the power and pace of the first one. Ooh, he just couldn't get it up over the wall as the half-time whistle goes from Mr. Yazin Buhari. It's been an interesting first half, more of a chess game than anything. The Warriors haven't come out to play. They have not gone and closed down, and Albrechts Niigata have passed the ball around, and they have looked very, very comfortable. The 35-year-old veteran Shingo Suzuki, who had a career spanning over 440 top-flight games in Japan in J1 and J2, is the goal scorer that has made the difference with his strike in the 25th minute. And at half-time here at the Jalan-Besar Stadium, the Great Eastern Yields S-League 2013 is the Warriors 0, Albrechts Niigata 1. As always, Shazad, a big thank you. It started well for Albrechts. They were breaking forwards and creating the opportunities. One-way shot coming in from Kento Nagasaki, the 23-year-old, not afraid to pull the trigger at all there. Absolutely drilled that forward. Then this was the 25th minute. Well, I have to say, I have not seen a goal like that. Look at the ball move. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Hassan Sunny, absolutely no chance as well. And you see the technique there from Shingo Suzuki going across and underneath the ball to always make it move away from the keeper. And that is why they were 1-0 up. Then there was this one, the free header from Sakamoto. It's gone in, but as you can see, it's gone through a hole in the net. And it was a marginal offside decision. So that much we do know. There you go, quite clearly inside the net, quite clearly outside the net. Doesn't matter, because it won't count. Shuko came the closest for the Warriors with a long-range shot from a good 40 yards that stung the hands of Hideyoki Hara, but was just a little bit too direct at him. But again, Albrechts looking to be the side in the ascendancy. Kento Nagasaki, who's worked incredibly hard and is looking at those little holes and pockets and causing all sorts of problems, is really, really the man to go to. Again, 90% of it was Albrechts going forwards. And again, look how close this is. Not a million miles away. And again, dipping right at the end. They really are learning how to master this new season's Mikasa ball. Here are the match stats so far. There have been, what's that, 7 9 attempts on goal, if I get my maths correct. Niigata have had 2 on target, so have the Warriors. And the Warriors have had 2 off target, and Niigata have had 3. 62% possession is what we're always accustomed to with Albirex Niigata, but they do have that solitary goal lead, the most important stat at the top. Kelly, Shazad, Sassi, what do you make of that free kick? What do you make of the remainder of that first half?